Hey, this thing is on. Yeah, we on. I had to wait a minute before I can go because my heat, my air conditioning, is loud and it probably is gonna make too much noise around here. Make sure people can hear me. Make sure everything's set. Yeah, everything's set. Y'all can hear me out there. Shoot, let me see something right quick before I get in. Let's see here. Freak. For people to get in here. I can hold this down. But anyways, today has been an eventful day, sort of say. Tired as hell. My neck hurts. It's been a long week. Freaking week that don't even freaking end. It's crazy. Let's see here. Let's see here. Hey, let me see if I went live or not on here. No, they not. All right. See, I can link it again. Oh, it's not made for kids. Save. All right. It's the first time I ever looking it up on YouTube. It's weird. Sure, I'll link one more time. Sometimes YouTube is hard at giving me freaking views. It's not even crazy. Let's see here. Share it. Don't get to share it. Close. Huh? All right, whatever. I don't know why it's doing that. Too many windows up anyway. All right, we're here. We're in here now. But you know what today is? Today's Michael Jordan's birthday, 60th birthday. I think Charles Barkley's birthday is either in 2 days or something like that. I know it's very close. I know both of them are born in February 1963. I just forgot what day. Also, it's Jim Brown's birthday today. And there's also another person's birthday today. The other GOAT himself, the GOAT of superheroes himself, Bruce Wayne, aka Batman. Supposedly, I think his birthday is February 17th. That's what I read. But today, we're going to talk about Michael Jordan, of course. And I'm only going to be on here for probably about an hour because I need to lay down. It's been an eventful day. But I want to talk about Michael Jordan on the court, off the court, and what he has meant for the NBA and basketball altogether. So I've been sitting here watching, trying to refresh my memory, of Jordan's highlights, what he has done in his 15 years in the league. And I have to say, just watching all the highlights, I think the NBA released today a not 60, but a 20-minute film based on 60 of Jordan's greatest plays. And from what I saw from just watching all 60 of those, even watching the stuff I was watching last night, this man was head and shoulders athletically above everyone else. Maybe not so much, probably Dominique Wilkins, but man, just the way he can move in the air. I don't see anybody doing that now at his height. Just the way he can move and glide. in the air. Even on this picture right here, it's crazy that he can do that. Uh, I always talk about his mid range. His mid range is impeccable, but I also think that Kobe had a better mid range than what he did, and what he has, I should say. I think Kobe looked at his mid range, modified it. He studied it. Kobe was a student. He studied it, practiced it. I don't know how many hours each day until he threw up. The whole blackout thing is Kobe. Well, I think Karan Butler told that story about how Kobe held practices and ready to black out. He probably did that until he mastered that mid-range turnaround jumper and did it even better than Jordan. But like I said before, no one can compare it to Jordan. I don't care what the stands think, the LaQuire think. Matter of fact, even today, I knew they was going to come out of nowhere for two things. That video I posted earlier about Anthony Davis now feeling the heat since he's going to become the new scapegoat. And you know how all the LaQuire got on there and went after, well, not so much went after, but freaking got on my page and started singing LeBron's praises, talk about his AD's fault. Yes, AD shares some blame, but the last couple of weeks, ever since LeBron got that scoring title, I had to put this on LeBron. It's a bad look going to the Super Bowl. It's a bad look not playing the rest of the game since you did that. And all of a sudden you want to come back so you can play an All-Star game. Give me a break. But anyways, I knew the LaQuire was going to come after me today. I knew they was going to freaking try to sing loud today about on Jordan's birthday, the real GOAT. But anyways, back to Jordan. Just some of the stuff he just did was strict. It's amazing. It's just stuff you don't see anymore. You don't see anybody. It's hard to see people. I think did Jamal Murray do that? Switch hands in midair with a layup. I think one of his, I say one of his most amazing feats on the court. I think it was a game against the Knicks in the playoffs. I think it was 91. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think it was hustling. Jordan was hustling for the ball. And he kind of slides down on one knee. He gets up, keeps dribbling, goes to the lane, and he gets so high up, he could have dunked. I think he just laid it in, but the way he laid it in, it's just like, damn. And it was craft and skilled. It's amazing. And you can tell by the wonder of the announcers when they were watching that game. It's completely impeccable. Let's see here. I don't know comments yet. Oops, wrong one. Everybody's flooding in here, but they ain't saying anything. Let's see here. I'm trying to get more people in here. Well, I'll talk too much before I get some people in here. But yeah, what he was able to do on the court was just crazy. I think it was one of the 60th plays of his career was in his later years on the Wizards. Now, everybody talk about how the Wizards weren't that good. He was on there. It was 35 and 47. Completely forgetting that he played with the likes of Kwame Brown, Juan Dixon, I think at one point Richard Hamilton, and many others. None of those considered to be top 75, but we got here LeBron at top 75. He had 3 other top 75 people on his team at one point in time last year. Actually, 4 Hall of Famers along with him, with Anthony Davis, Westbrook, Carmelo, and Dwight Howard. Still couldn't do anything with that. He had 2 other top 75 players this year and still couldn't do anything with that. He was on the verge of not making it to the playoffs a second year in a row. But anyways, Jordan, even when he was at age 39, 40, he was still able to get up. I don't know who he blocked, but somebody was going up for a layup, and he took the ball right out of their hands midair and grabbed it and said, "Give me that sucker." Crazy. And that was at age 39, 40. Completely amazing. And the fact that he scored 34 something points and only attempted 3 threes a game is crazy also. Now they just basketball now. I look at I was watching some of the 90s and early 2000s basketball. The way they play it now and the way they play it back then, the way they play it back then is just head over heels. The game that they played back then is what I actually loved back then. There's none of just I'm just gonna shoot up a three every 5 seconds. NBA games now have turned into a complete 3-point contest. It's not even fun anymore. It's completely ridiculous. But what was I gonna say next? And he playing a tougher, and they playing a tougher. The way he was so amazing playing with that tougher defense. Everybody talking about, oh, you changed the rules for him. Yeah, because they was actually out there freaking playing football back in the 80s. The Detroit Pistons was. But the Detroit Pistons knew how great Jordan could be. That's why they did all that stuff. 63 points against one of the best teams in NBA history in the 1986 Boston Celtics. Completely amazing. 63 points. They couldn't do anything. Boston couldn't do anything. They still won the series, but they couldn't do anything with that, with Jordan. They knew Jordan was up. That's why you got people like Dr. J. Dr. J still hold a grudge against Jordan because he took his fire. But you got to look at it. Dr. J was on his way out when Jordan was coming in. But still, took his fire. People forget at one point in time, Dr. J had similar moves. Well, he can glide through the air like Jordan. They was freaking going heads over heels over Dr. J in the 70s and early 80s. Jordan came out of nowhere and took all of that thunder, all that fire, all that publicity from there. What else was I going to say? Outside of his athleticness, his grit and determination, willpower, his focus, all he wanted to do was win. Sometimes it rubbed people the wrong way on his team. Everybody gonna bring up, he punched Steve Kerr. We don't know how many times teammates got into fights that we don't know about. It wasn't just Jordan. Heck, right now, there's a rift going. Perfect example, but I keep bringing it back up. There's a rift right now with the Lakers, with Anthony Davis and LeBron James. You got LeBron James throwing people under the bus, public national television on ESPN, talk about why can't we get Kyrie and that type of dumb stuff. I don't want to hear it from these freaking LeBron fans talk about Jordan punched Steve Kerr, whatever. Fights happen. But anyways, he put batteries in everybody's back. Scotty, everybody, Dennis, everybody, Steve Kerr, everybody on the team. All those different teams that they had. He was the absolute leader, alpha male. Everybody followed him, and everybody fell into the line, played as a team. Everybody had the positions on the Bulls. Everybody knew Jordan's was to freaking play, was to score, and also to play defense. He was a two-way player, not like some of these people these days that they try to put as high regard and try to put over the greats. They don't even, half of these players now are not even two-way players anymore. They just worried about offense. I think there's probably one or two two-way players that are superstars now that play on both sides of the court. I wonder if LeBron really, well, maybe not. The fact that everybody keep trying to compare LeBron to Jordan, it's like there's no comparison. Yes, LeBron played a little bit defense, but he wasn't known for being two-way. He don't have 8, 9, 10 defensive all teams, no defensive player of the year award. And then people bring out Kobe. Yes, you can bring out Kobe all you want to when it comes to that. He may not have a defensive player of the award, but he got 8 defensive teams, all defensive teams. Jordan on defense is actually, man, He was blocking fools all left and right. He was determined, like I said, determined, willpower, absolute sheer willpower. Willpower, ain't nobody can really have this these days. I think the only person that probably had that in the last 15, 20 years in the NBA was Kobe. They had that willpower, the determination. What up, Francis? Glad you're back here again with another live stream. Yeah, I'm trying. I was thinking about actually sending out the link for other people to talk, but maybe a different day I will let people talk on here or jump right in because today is kind of be a shorter live stream. I'm probably only gonna go another 45 minutes because today was one of those days you kick back, sit back, watch TV, don't do anything. One of those days for me. But yes, Josh Johnson checking in. Shout out to him, a loyal contributor to the channel, always in the comment section, as well as many others. But how's that stuff? Yeah, going back to Jordan. Compare now. When you make the comparison with freaking LeBron, does LeBron put battery in people's backs? No, he don't. He don't get that team going, that team motivated. If it ain't working out, he want to get rid of the fool. Now he want to get rid of Anthony Davis. Some of it is Anthony Davis' fault, no doubt. Can't stop him being injured. But when he out there playing, he playing. LeBron never really just gets around the team and just says F everything else and we can get this team together, we can play as a team. Jordan's sacrifice. People don't understand it. Hey, Jordan's ball hog. There's times where Jordan had to play point guard and had to pass the ball. And let's get on his passing. I was watching some of the highlights yesterday. That fool can actually pass. Now, he wasn't averaging 11 assists or 10 assists like people want him to do. I don't think how many times LeBron averaged double in assists, above 10 assists per game, a season, I should say. But it's just like, come on now. Your detractors are freaking goofy. Half of the people who freaking try to go after Jordan and try to crap on his legacy probably never even watched the highlight at all. Or even try to sit there and watch a full game to actually get what this guy actually done on the court. It's just like they keep trying to despair his legacy. You cannot despair his legacy. His legacy is too much. It's too global. It's too it's almost like a myth. He's almost like a myth now. Like a mythological creature or something. We gotta stop that. Trying to put everybody else's who playing today's freaking achievements and accomplishments above Jordan. Get out of here. And we gotta talk about his competition as well. His competition, everybody craps on like Nick Wright. Always try to freaking crap on the competition Jordan had. Half of Jordan's competition, let's just say a small sample size, the 6 championships he played against, and he played in. First one he played against Magic and James Worthy. Yes, Kareem was already retired, but he played against those two. Those are 2 top 75 players. Played against Clyde Drexler. Played against Charles Barkley. Played against Gary Payton and Shawn Kemp. Even though Shawn Kemp is not in the Hall of Fame. Playing against Karl Malone and John Stockton twice. Where those two were basically, all those players I just named during their time are basically like top 10 players during their time. So stop it. Even going through the Eastern Conference, he still had to play Reggie Miller, Patrick Ewing, John Starks. He still had to go through teams like that. Come on now. We got to stop disparaging his competition. His competition is Hall of Fame, top 75 good. Come on now. We got to stop that. Nick Wright. That's another thing. Somebody just pointed out in the comments. That's another thing about Jordan's game. It was finesse. Yeah, he had some times he traveled. Everybody does it. That's another thing. People bring that up to disparage Giannis too. Oh, Giannis travels. He carries. Don't now all these NBA players are traveling, carrying. Man, I don't know how many times I see LeBron lift up that pivot foot, moving feet like he freaking Fled Flintstone, Barney Rubble, riding their freaking stone car. LeBron's the king of traveling, but nobody says anything about it. I watch this like he always try to do that freaking turnaround post up like he freaking Jordan or Kobe. It never works, and he always bricks it because his feet are not right. His feeding is not right at all when he starts that turnaround jumper and tries to spin. It's ugly, it's nasty. Ugh. Somebody in the comment section, tell me, you ever watch LeBron when he posts up and he try to do that turnaround jumper? You see how ugly it is? How he takes off with it? Man, it ain't no Jordan level. Get out of here. Let me stop right quick. Read some of these comments. Remember when Nick Wright said that LeBron passed Jordan in score records? Consider another ring for LeBron. Because Nick Wright, I think we all know now. I already knew it before people start making videos about it. We all know Nick Wright is a freaking Clutch Sports affiliate. He got the black card. He got the Clutch Sports black card. That's a single man achievement. That's not a team achievement, Nick, right? You dummy. He keeps trying to find ways to put LeBron over Jordan. It's just never going to happen. I'm sorry. It's not going to happen anytime soon. Never. Ever. Nobody playing right now wherever past Jordan, because nobody played before the guys who are playing right now never had a chance to pass Jordan. And anything Jordan did. Closest has probably been Tim Duncan and Kobe Bryant. Other than that, everybody else is falling short. So stop it. LaTrash will always be the wackest of all time media creator hoax. Yeah, he definitely getting pushed by the media. The media won't let him go because the media is in his pocket. Like people like Nick Wright, Shannon Sharp. And Shannon Sharp, all this tap dancing and freaking pom he's been doing for the last week and a half, almost since that whole kerfuffle with the Memphis Grizzlies. It's like, dude, your feminism is showing. What does Too Raw say? What does Too Raw call them? Butter muscles? Old butter muscles? Man, all that pom he's been doing for LeBron for the last couple of weeks has been disgusting. He keeps trying to freaking make these comparisons, especially trying to make comparisons with Jordan's Wizard days with LeBron now. It's no comparison. LeBron has had 4 top 75 or Hall of Famers on his team. That should equal some type of playoff seeding. But they couldn't even get to the play-in. And if Jordan was playing back then, when he was playing back then, they had to play it, they probably would have made it. And they probably would have got the last seed, the 8th or 7th seed. They had to play him back then. Because Jordan wanted to win. He wants to win. God. Stiff arming people, running over everyone, crying for fall straight. That's the thing about LeBron's game, too. It's all about power. And here's the thing. Somebody tried to say, one of my co-workers said a couple months ago. He says LeBron is better because he's LeBron. He's part of the choir. He said LeBron is better because LeBron is taller and stronger and faster. Well, let me prove that wrong. Because taller, faster, stronger don't mean you're better. Let's say this to all my commenters in the comment section. Whose game would you rather have? Would you rather have Jordan's or LeBron's? I'll wait. I want to hear what you guys have to say to that. Would you rather have LeBron's skill set or Jordan's skill set? That should be an easy answer to y'all out there. Take Nick Wright, Shannon Sharp, Colin Cowherd TV and placing with Jordan fans praising MJ 24% of those created hoax. NJ. Jordan only lasts 3 games in a row once and never let it happen to him again. That's mental toughness right there. And Jordan also, that's another thing. Jordan, and most of the players back then in the 80s and 90s, even 2000s, they didn't load manage. They played all 82 games that they had to. If they was feeling right and feeling well enough to go out there and play, weak knees and bruises and strains and pains and all, they still go out there and try to do their best. I don't know how many times Kobe went out there with everything hurting on him, torn ligaments in his finger. What, he had a dislocated shoulder or something like that, popped the shoulder out of place, popped his finger out of place. Willpower, determination to win no matter the cost. People like Kobe and Jordan had to drag them off the court. Shoot, even Larry Bird had to drag his ass up the court. This man going out here with a messed up spine, still out there giving people 20 to 25, putting up buckets and threes in their faces. Shoot. Kawhi feel a little sorry for the Kawhi fans out there. Kawhi feel a little ninja and a little pain in his knee. He got to sit out 3 games. People should not ever compare any player to this day, even Giannis. Oh, you know what? It's hard to say not Giannis because Giannis kind of came from that same tree, that same branch of tree of Jordan and Kobe. But I'm just saying, it's hard to put those players up today before the players of yesteryear because they're just tough. They play through anything. And go out there. That's another thing I forgot to say. Jordan played with the flu. Stomach flu, whatever he had, flu game against Utah, 97. Forget about that. Man, go out there and score 37 with the flu. You don't see nobody doing that these days. Matter of fact, they don't even let them play because of the freaking vid after that. Just a couple of days ago, actually, Jason Tatum was supposedly had a non-COVID sickness Tuesday against the Bucks. All of a sudden on Wednesday, he showed up and played. I don't think he was sick. I think they kept him out, which is weird. Jordan lost 3 games. Yeah, I read that already, I think. Yeah, I would take MJ's skill set over LeBron's. Plus, never wanted to team up with other superstars like Dream or Shaq because he wanted to beat them. That's another thing. Jordan wanted to beat everybody. He stepped this way. You know what? I think it was on The Last Dance. Jordan, I think they said Jordan will make up. I think it was The Last Dance. They said Jordan will make up certain things in his mind that people said or didn't say and try to use it against him the next time he played them. Like he'll take, let's say, I forgot who it was. It was some, I want to say lesser known NBA player, but supposedly the story is, I don't know if you guys heard it. Jordan thought the guy said so, but the guy said he never said anything to Jordan during that game they played. But I guess Jordan made up his mind. He said so and came back and whooped his ass. That's right there. It's just a freaking assassin. Mentality is different. Jordan's skill set, his mid-range game, pass game is too elite. I argue he's better than Kobe's. Now, I do say this. I think Kobe's mid-range game is, I think he made it better because I always say Kobe's mid-range game, his footwork and all that stuff was like ballet. It was no herky-jerky stuff. It was complete, just turn around, nothing. Everything was uniform. I think sometimes Jordan, sometimes it wasn't a little bit uniform, but it's hard to beat those two when it comes to mid-range. If Jordan had LeBron's sore knee or hurt foot, I bet he'd still be out there on the court. Jordan was actually out there playing on the Wizards with a one knee, a busted knee. People forget about that. Um, Now globally, we all know what Jordan is. Globally, he became a phenomenon. There's no way, unless in the actual first world, anybody who has a TV, newspaper, radio, anybody who live in countries that were rich enough to have all that, Jordan's name was known all across the world, everywhere. People wore jerseys. If you look at the 92 Olympics in Barcelona, you know how that went. They was like rock stars mainly because of him. Gatorade became Gatorade. You see now, Hanes. And we got to talk about the shoes, because the shoes, it's funny though. I hear people that say, or had stories when they said they met or ran into Jordan in his younger days. And they said he was always never didn't acknowledge him or just rude to him or something like that. And they be talking about, I never bought Jordans again. I don't support Jordans like that. Or they always talk about Jordan support prisons and build prisons and all that stuff. Those same type of people, they always the first ones in line buying Jordans. Always in line buying Jordans. Come on now. We all know where Jordan is the number one, basically the number one shoe everybody goes for. No matter what race you are, everybody buying those Jordans. No matter who you are. No matter if you don't even play sports like that, some people are still buying Jordans. Because that's how influential he was. Perfect example of this. You look at LeBron James' sons, Bronny and what's the other name, Braxton or something like that, or Bryce. I forgot the other name, the younger son's name. You look at their feet during LeBron capturing that scoring title. They wearing Jordans. They ain't wearing their daddy shoes. Who would want to wear that daddy shoe? Those daddy shoes. Some of the, I will say this: some of LeBron shoes, they're not that bad. I think the LeBron 20s this year, they're not that bad. But guess what they look like? I was watching the game against this. I had to take a I had to look again, double glance, because I thought LeBron was wearing Kobe's. Nope, he wearing Jordan. He wearing his own shoe, but they modeled up to Kobe's. But anyways, the Suns are wearing Jordans. I got more Jordans in that room more than I got LeBron. I only got 2 pairs of LeBrons. I don't know how many Jordans I got. And I never was really built on, I never was really bit buying Jordans like that because of where I grew up. I grew up originally in Milwaukee, right? And when every Jordan release date dropped at Foot Locker or something like that, oh my goodness. You don't know how many people freaking got beat up, robbed, taken off this earth because of Jordans. That's how crazy that is. You don't see anybody getting beat up for LeBrons like that. Ain't supposed to be getting beat up for your shoes, but I'm just saying. Completely ridiculous. And his name's wait, Z-Man, whose shoes are orthopedics? You talk about LeBron shoes are orthopedics? That's funny. Orthopedics. Shout out to Z-Man for that. That's funny. Jordans are more comfortable too. You talking about LeBron's? LeBron shoes are heavy though. I forgot which ones are heaviest though. I think it's one of some of his early ones. You look at them like, damn, his shoes look heavy as hell. I think as the years went past, they made them lighter because everybody's starting to go with a lighter shoe now. You look at Nike, go on Nike.com or the app, because I got the app. You look at all these shoes are getting more narrow, more low top, more like less material. They're not as heavy as they used to be back then. I think if you look at the you look at the like the old East Bay magazine, you look at the weight in ounces, I think they have. LeBron's shoes were always heaviest. Even the shoes back then were even heavy. Now they all light. Let me read some of these comments real quick. You guys are making me laugh down there. Jordan didn't have access to certain enhancements like LBJ did. Remember, his name was on the Biogenesis ledger back when A-Rod, Alex Rodriguez, not Aaron Rodgers, Jameer Nelson got popped. You know what? That's been a topic of discussion a lot this week from certain live streams I've been listening to. I did remember when that report came on, nobody did anything. They got on A-Rod for it, but they never did anything to LeBron James about it. But I guess now everybody's pointing out the evidence that one time he looked skinny, he come back 2 weeks later, he looked bigger and all that. I don't know. But he has to be dipping in some juice to be doing what he's doing, a fraction of what he's trying to do now at age 38. He's doing something. And the hair loss. But the thing about the hair loss for LeBron, I think his hair loss started like 09. Unless he's been taking it since 09. But he's been trying to grow that hair. I just don't know. I understand why he just cut that mess off and just go bald. He got the beard for it. I don't know why he be trying to put a do-rag on it. I think Charles Barkley made a joke about it a couple years ago. So well, he got a do-rag on it. He got no hair. But yeah, I think he's been dipping in the juice. Did you see that Instagram post Shaq posted and had LeBron at tier 3? Let's see. LeBron at tier 3 at 2. Wait, let me read that. LeBron at tier 3, Jordan at tier 2, but LeBron does have the same tomahawk dunk most. Oh, you talk about the dunk? The dunk scale that he had? I think 2 Raw made a video about that. Yeah. I thought about the same thing too. I said Jordan should be higher, but LeBron, he only really had that tomahawk dunk. That same old dry ass tomahawk dunk he's been doing since he's been 20, 19, 18 years old. I only seen do 2-1 other dunks. And that's probably why he never wanted to be in the slam dunk contest. Because he knew he'd probably get cooked. And don't get me started on that slam dunk contest this year. I don't know who's who in the slam dunk contest this year. It's freaking crazy. Sure. This is what I was laughing at earlier. His shoes are orthopedics. Yeah, they are. Them things fat as hell. Yeah, them LeBron 10s were big. I'll show this one right here. Yeah, those LeBron 10s were bulky as hell. Yeah, they was big. What was it, LeBron? I forgot which one he came back. Well, I forgot which number were the ones when he went to the finals the second time with the Cavs on his second stint. No, let me take that back. His second stint with the Cavs, but his first time going to the finals with Kyrie and Kevin Love when they both got hurt. I forgot what number that was. I actually like those. They look like tire trays on the side, but I forgot the name of them. His high school dunk contest was garbage. Yeah, I got that on video. It wasn't great at all. Yeah, it was not great. I remember that too. I think it was like a 03 McDonald's All-American, something like that. I was watching. But going back to Jordan's influence is impeccable, impenetrable, cannot be touched. It cannot be touched at all. And you know what? My favorite player is Ray Allen, right? I grew up in Milwaukee. That was our star back in the day. And it's stupid for me to even say, you know what? I might just say it now. I ain't going to say Ray Allen is the best player of all time. No, he's not. That's how these LeBron fans got to realize that LeBron is not. I still think he's probably one of the best shooters of all time. I think he still edges out Curry by a little bit. But the thing about Curry, what he does is it's the dribbling and just pull up and shoot. He'll do some freaking crazy ass dribble between the lanes and just pull up and shoot. That's one thing Curry, I would say, has over Ray Allen. But Ray Allen has had some big timely shots. And you know what? LeBron James should be sending candy and wine to That's some kind of okay, not candy and wine. They should be sending boxes of wine to Ray Allen's house every day on his birthday. On July 20th. Yeah, July 20th. Ray Allen should be getting wine every year. He should get 50 cases of wine in 2 years on his 50th birthday for Ray Allen making that shot. Because Ray Allen don't make that shot, and Tim Duncan would have been put in there instead of freaking Coach Pop over coaching by taking Tim Duncan out. We wouldn't be talking about LeBron even close to Larry Bird or anybody else. Because that would give him 3 rings. LeBron 3 rings. That would have given him 3 rings. And now people are saying that 2016 was all perfectly set up for LeBron to win because of Draymond Green getting ejected. I, for one, thought Draymond Green should have been gone a long time ago with all that kicking he was doing during that playoffs. But lesser TV was, I guess. Read. The media tried their best to cover up that for LeBron when he took the jab in Miami. I think that was back in the 2012-13 season when he went on a 27-game winning streak. Yeah. I think that was the first time they won. Jesus Shuttleworth. Yep. Lastly, if it wasn't for Jordan, especially as you see on the screen here, I think this is the 98 finals. Because I remember watching in 98, because even when I was younger, you hear rumblings or used to hear on the TV all the time. The only 2, 3 people, 4 people you probably heard on TV in the 90s when you turn the news on, any entertainment or anything on, you either hear about Michael Jordan, Michael Jordan, Michael Jordan, Michael Jordan, Michael Jordan. And then you have some sprinkles of probably, let's say, anything Bill Clinton was doing, Michael Jackson, maybe some Tupac in there, whoever during the 90s. But we all know, I don't know, as a 6-year-old who didn't know that much about basketball at all at 6 years old, other than shoot and dribble, but not the ins and outs of the game. I didn't know what was going on exactly like that when it comes to the playoffs on that, but I knew during the 96 playoffs and all 97, 98, I knew Jordan was that dude. He was him. No question who he was. And when he made that shot over Byron Russell in that game 6 in 98, that shot right there made me love basketball. Actually, that whole series made me love basketball. I think everybody during the 90s wanted to be like Mike. And I ain't gonna say everybody want to be like LeBron. I don't think anybody want to be like LeBron. I think more people want to be like Stephen Curry these days because that's all he does is shoot. And it's reflective. The NBA is reflective on the other levels of basketball, the lesser levels of basketball. I can't go to a gym and play a pickup game without somebody launching an 80-footer out of nowhere. It's like, why are you shooting that? You're not Stephen Curry. You don't see nobody trying to do a mid-range turnaround jumper anymore. Nope. You don't see that at all. Everybody wants to pull up and shoot or try to dunk or do some fancy-ass feminine-ized move to get to the basket. Hear me, I'm sitting here doing turnaround jumpers like I'm Kobe and Jordan because that's who I watched growing up. And that's the impact that Jordan had on probably me and other kids who grew up in the 90s who realized and knew who the real GOAT is. That's who they looked up to in the 90s. And Jordan's dominance. We got to talk about that before. Let me get to these comments right quick. I'll make my last point. GOAT of all GOAT. MJ is him. Yes, he is. I remember that story KG told with him and Isaiah talked trash to Mike and Nate. One and game 1, he dropped, I think, 50 on them. Or one game, he dropped 50 on them. You can't talk. You can't talk to Mike. That's what I'm saying. Like, Mike will, like the meme goes, I took that personally. Yeah, he'll internalize it. He'll cook up something in his head, what he gonna do to you, and then he will execute it. And then look at you. Like, what are you doing with yourself? Let's see here. LeBron James, a LeBron signature move is to follow your way to travel to basket for a layup. And like I said earlier, I don't know how many times I see him move that foot too many times. And they want to keep going after Jan. He traveled, he do this. You need to go after all these players then. Because all these players make mistakes that you don't see. And I know there's numerous of times where I see Stephen Curry out here carrying. I think majority of NBA now does carry. Wilt better? You know what? That's your opinion. But is that a LeBron James picture you got right there? That's another funny thing. I like when people argue. They talk about their Kobe fans, but they sit there freaking arguing for LeBron for the whole entire time against Kobe. That crap be funny. But going back to Jordan's dominance, I want to make this last point. Yes, Jordan did struggle because he played against, people forget, the teams that he played against, Jordan played against in his 20s and early 80s, those teams out of the East were like all-time great teams. Pistons, Celtics, those teams consider all-time great teams. I don't think you can consider some of the teams now or LeBron played against are all-time great teams. And people will bring up the KD. I think the only organically team that LeBron had to go up against that is probably some people actually consider an all-time great team. I think it's an underrated team. If you look at their numbers of that year, it's the 2013-2014 Spurs. People sleep on that team. That team actually wasn't that bad if you look at it and what they was able to do. I think everybody, I don't think they went to a game 7 during that playoff run the Spurs did. I think they went 5 games against the Heat. I think they either went 6 or 5 games against OKC. I forgot who to play second round. I don't know if it was Dallas or somebody. But yeah, they barely struggled in that series, in that playoff run. But once Jordan got rid and got Pippen, nobody was able to beat him. Once he got Pippen, you gotta look at the people who don't got rings during Jordan's time. Karl Malone ain't got no ring. John Stockton ain't got no ring. Patrick Ewing ain't got no ring. Shaq couldn't get a ring during his time. Well, he got stopped by Jordan and Hakeem. The only top 75 player to get it, forgot about Gary Payton. The only top 75 player that got a ring during Jordan's time was Hakeem Olajuwon, and also only because Jordan came out of retirement or was in retirement. Other than that, nobody else was winning the ring. Frank B, I'm about to get to that pretty soon. That's another thing I want to point out. Thanks for reminding me. And as I said before, I might have said this in the video before. You look at LeBron's time in the league, let's say since 03. I don't even want to go since 03. I think it's unfair. Since probably 06, his buddy won one, Dwayne Wade. The Spurs won one. KG, Paul Pierce, Ray Allen, Rondo won one. Kobe won 2. Dirk won 1. The Spurs again with Kawhi won again. Golden State has won 4. Kawhi won another one with Toronto. Giannis has won 1. That's not dominance if all them people are winning under you. He's supposed to be an all-time great. Like Draymond Green said, he was the best player in the league since 05. Even though Kobe begs to differ, he was still here. But that's why we here on YouTube say, nope, LeBron was not the best player during that time. I always say 1A, 1B. It was Kobe and Tim Duncan during that time. It was not LeBron. Let me get some of these comments right quick. team reading. I love the comments. I love y'all out here making this interesting. Jordan makes sure nobody took a seat at his table in his era. Yep. But Hakeem being the exception. LeBron let Steph, KD take a seat at his table. The old Tim Duncan and young Kawhi. Yeah, well, I just said. Oh, it's too many people. You have two super teams with the Boston Celtics and Golden State Warriors. And then you had the San Antonio Spurs that won twice. Then you had, like I said, Kobe won twice. And then you had Dirk and then Kawhi by himself with Toronto. And then Giannis, that's way too many people to be dominant. So I never want to hear that argument again. LeBron James is the most dominant during this era. No, he is not. Not if you're letting all those people play and win. That's ridiculous. And people, he had to go against the super team in the Golden State Warriors. Well, guess who created the super team phenomenon? It was him. Joining Chris Bosh and his old buddy, Dwayne Wade in Miami. That was all him. Like, I do agree with Draymond Green when he said that. That was all him. Everybody keep going back to the Boston thing. Boston was trades. The NBA keeps taking subliminal shots at LeBron. Yeah, they are, because the NBA already knows who the GOAT is. That's why they named the MVP award after MJ. I can't imagine if Jordan played in this era. He would literally trade. That's another thing I want to say. Thanks for bringing that up, Josh Johnson. I had a dispute with a couple buddies probably on New Year's Day. Yeah, it was New Year's Day, but it was New Year's Eve out in Scottsdale. 4 o'clock in the morning. I don't know why he was still out. Club's lit out already. New Year's is already coming past. New Year anyway. Welcome to 2023. But I was sitting here about a month ago arguing about what happens if Jordan played in this era. And they kept saying Jordan couldn't do anything. What you mean Jordan couldn't do anything? Jordan played against some of the best defensive teams of all time, best defensive players of all time during this day. They don't play defense like that now. If you think Donovan Mitchell scored 71 not too long ago, right? Right? Do you think Donovan Mitchell is on Michael Jordan's level? No. Michael Jordan in his prime, he was a play today in his prime, anywhere from 27 to 35. This, you know what? I'll go even 40. I'll go all the way up from 27 to a 40-year-old Michael Jordan. That Jordan, from them years, in between them years, will average almost 50 points a game if he wanted to, because nobody couldn't do anything with him. And then he'll be locking up every guard in this league, including your precious Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown and Trae Young and Stephen Curry if he had to. So I never want to hear that Jordan couldn't play in this era. Jordan would have a field day in this era. They also say Kobe couldn't play in this era either. Kobe would eat people for breakfast in this era, this soft-ass era. That 2004 sports team was very underrated. It beat LeBron in the finals with a wide margin, and Tim Duncan and Kawhi played a really big part of that. What they did was they closed the paint on LeBron, so he couldn't do that freaking driving and go into the paint. Because they knew LeBron can't shoot. They knew Dwayne Wade was somewhat ailing during that time. If we take Dwayne Wade out of the equation and put Kawhi strictly on LeBron, which is equally in size and length, and we know how good the defender Kawhi is, if you stick Kawhi on him and then you clog up the paint with Tim Duncan and Thiago Splitter, I think it was, you even have Boris Diaw out there sometimes, there's no way in the world LeBron can do what he wanted to do. And I think Popovich learned from his mistakes the previous year. And Kawhi was just on fire. And they really had nobody to stop Tony Parker. They really had nobody to stop Tim Duncan, even the older Tim Duncan, at all. And mono was going to be mono. That was just it. Yeah, that team is really underrated defensive-wise, too. I think they need more celebration than what they've been getting, because it was hard to score in that team. It was really hard to score in that team. I think this is the same Spurs team that took out Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook too. People that going to talk about the Suns fans for a minute. Talk about the Suns. If I was a Suns fan, I wouldn't be getting too happy because we all seen plenty of times KD gets swallowed up on defense. Even before last year in that Boston series, that 2014 series against even the 2014 and 2011 series against the Dallas Mavericks, he was getting swallowed up somewhat. That's another team that's underrated. That 2011 Dallas Mavericks team. Wilt definitely better. Yeah. People say that. My dad says he thinks Kareem's the GOAT. I think for one, my dad didn't like Jordan mainly because he was a Bucks fan and Jordan beat up the Bucks during that time. They made rules to stop Wilt. They helped Jordan. Yeah, that's true, but they also made rules easier for the balding fool out in LA. Get this guy out of here with this crazy ass nonsense. See, here's a LaQuire. A freaking booty licker LaQuire member. Get out of here. If Jordan can stay in front of Mahmoud and Iverson, imagine him guarding Kyrie and Dame and Stephen Split. But could they hold him? No. The LaQuire starting to come in. The LaQuire starting to come in. He's starting to come in now. And he took another shot at LeBron at the top 75 when they announced Jordan last with him standing in the middle. That's another thing I forgot to bring up. When they did that top 75 last year, they cheered so loud for Jordan when he came out there. More than LeBron. And that's LeBron's hometown. How can you call yourself a king when you ain't get the same treatment in your own city? What does that tell you? The impact is too incredible. Catch up with some of these chats. Boston was old heads who actually did it right way. Individually stay on their teams, getting old and trying to win a championship. Didn't happen. All of them boys was 30 plus when they got together. That's another thing. They was old too. They weren't young. I think, yeah, they was like 30, 31, 32, 33 when they got that team together. People forget about that. LeBron, Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, mid-20s. Golden State, mid-20s. LeBron made the 8 straight finals, but only 3 of them. In an 8-year window, Jordan won 6 rings. That's with a taken season and a half of. In 7 seasons, Jordan lost 1 playoff series. Yep. You made it 8 straight finals and only won 3 of them. And you had a super team twice. And you played in a weaker East at the time. What does that tell you? Oh, you guys are bringing in the chats right now. Remember when LeBron said he was trying to chase the ghost of Chicago? Now he's still chasing that. Yeah, he'll be forever chasing them. He don't compare. And he's made it worse on himself in the last couple of weeks. What's it going to look like for LeBron at the end of this year if they don't get to the playoffs? How many times has LeBron missed the playoffs? If they missed this year, how many times? That's 2 and 3 in LA so far, right? That's 3 in LA. How many times did he miss the playoffs in his first stint with the Cavs? Twice, maybe? That's almost 5 times. If we're going to count this year if they don't make it. That's 5 times. Right now it's 4 times. In your prime, too. Supposedly. Goats and kings die, heirs forever. Yep. Yeah, Michael Jordan's name will be circulating around this word forever, even when he passed. LeBron may be the king, but not the GOAT. The fact that LeBron's whole town cheered louder for Jordan must hurt LeBron badly, just like Isaiah Thomas. Yep. You know what? I think ever since that has happened, I think he's been on this whole road of having people love him even more. I think that's why he was at the Super Bowl. I think that's why he keeps putting his name in everything. I think there's something psychological going on with him in his head. I don't know. I don't want to talk too much about it here. I don't know if it's something in his childhood, his upbringing that he never had. And he just really wants to be loved. I don't know what it is. I think he just wants everybody to praise him. But it's never going to happen. You're never going to get everybody to praise you. Everybody's not going to like you. That's like lesson number 5 in growing up. Your parents always tell you, and everybody going to like you. LeBron has to face that fact. Everybody's not going to like you or see you as the GOAT. I'm sorry. It's not going to happen. And you don't make it any better when you self-proclaim yourself as the king or the greatest to ever played the game. And then you do the stuff you've been doing the antics you've been doing for the last 2 weeks. It's hard to freaking put you up there and make anybody like you. He passed Kareem, but his kids were wearing Jordans. Yep. Great point. Bron fans love him because of numbers. So let's go there where it counts 6-0s or greater, 4 and 6. How can you be a king? Like Jordan said on one of those NBA 2K, 6 is greater than 4. I'm trying to go through all these comments before I get off here. It's funny that LeBron had more than 80-something trades with the most help and did less with more help, whereas Jordan had 14-something trades and did with less. That's what I'm saying. People they just ignore that. This man has played with, I don't know how many Hall of Famers, top 75ers. Let's count them up. He's played Hall of Famers, top 75. Ben Wallace, he's a Hall of Famer. Chris Bosh, Dwayne Wade, that's 3. Ray Allen, that's 4. Kyrie, he's going to be a Hall of Famer, that's 5. I don't know about Kevin Love, but you can say that's 6. And he played with Anthony Davis, Westbrook, Dwight Howard, Carmelo. That's way too many. And you only got 4 rings to show for it? Yep, I just talked about DOK Tour. I think that's how you pronounce his name. I just talked about that, how Jordan used to make up fake revenge stories in his head to get motivated. The second you crown yourself the queen, your journey ends. Ain't that some what's the name of that show? Not Lord of the Rings. What's the other one? Game of Thrones? Shoot, you guys are coming in with too many comments. I can't keep up. I thought the king stayed and ruled in one kingdom, Chicago. I've never known any traveling king. Cavs, Heat, Lakers. That's another thing. He can be crowned king in Cleveland. That's where you started with. But you try to move yourself down to Dwayne Wade's land. And then you try to move yourself down to somebody even better than you. And you could say the Lakers are Magic's team. You could say Kareem is Lakers, or you could say Kobe is Lakers. I think as of now, I think in more recent memory, I think Kobe is more of, he's the Lakers. He's a Laker. It's always going to be Kobe's team. And I always thought when LeBron went there, I thought that was a freaking big disrespect. But I don't think Kobe saw anything wrong with it. But I think deep down, Kobe's like, what the frick this guy doing here? Them old ass Celtics make prime LeBron quit. Ran that boy out of Cleveland the first time. Yeah, they did. Had to go team up with some other dudes. Shannon wearing that goat mask is satanic. Yeah. You need to take that thing off. Resident Evil 4. Yep. That's what I thought it was. Tywin Lannister from Game of Thrones said a king who calls himself a king is not a king at all. Yep. LeBron is now humble. Oh, God. I hate how LeBron fans say that Jordan beat the Pistons when they were old, but LeBron beat them in 07, what they owed, and didn't have Big Ben. Yep. Ben Wallace was on Chicago when they beat Detroit. That's another thing I've been thinking about. They keep saying, "Oh, he beat Detroit," but Detroit wasn't even the same team. That wasn't the same Detroit team that beat the Lakers in 04. Ben Wallace is on Chicago, and I think after that, Ben Wallace ended up going to Cleveland. Oh yeah, I forgot about Shaq. That's another player LeBron played with. Shaq. Oh, that's Shaq. How could I forget Shaq for that year? So he's played with a lot of people, and still has 4 rings to amount to it. With all them people, you think LeBron might have 10 rings. He don't like competition. And it's going to suck. And I tell you, this is going to happen next year at the end of the season. I hope Anthony Davis leaves. I hope Anthony Davis goes somewhere else. And I hope they can get nobody else. Because I think some words are going to be spread around the NBA. I think Russell's going to start saying some stuff about what happened there. And once Anthony Davis is probably gone, if he ain't saying anything already in secret, he's going to start saying some stuff. I'm sure Kyrie probably said some stuff. We already know what KD felt about LeBron. It's a toxic environment. And I hope LeBron's left there all by his lumps on the Lakers, fending for himself. While everybody else that he once had on his team is now on somebody else's team. And they marking the calendar to go beat him. I hope Anthony Davis goes to freaking Dallas. It's about Dallas don't have anybody to sign him. I think he can opt out of his contract and go anywhere he wants. But I don't think Dallas has enough money to sign both Kyrie and Anthony Davis. What's your top 10? You know what? I once had a top 10, but I had to remake it. I had to get it on paper. I think the thing about making a top 10, it fluctuates too much. But I'm going to tell you this off the bat. I usually do this as in positions, like center, power forward, guard, the 2 guards. I would say if we're going to do top 10, my starting 5 will be Kareem, Tim Duncan, Bird, Jordan, and the point guard is always messed up, but it's Magic. That's my 5. And then the next 5, bottom out the last 5 at the 10. And the other center will probably be, see, this is when I have a problem with. I want to put Hakeem in it, but it's, Shaq, at the power forward position. This is hard to say. And I think he's probably going to end up being the second best power forward when it's all said and done for him. Giannis. Small forward. See, this is where I keep changing when it comes to making this top 5, top 10. It's going to be hard for me to put at the small forward position. It's either KD or LeBron. As much as I don't like him, I had to say he's probably in there. So I had to put LeBron in there. At the shooting guard is probably Kobe. And then point guard is probably Oscar Robertson. And that's how I round up the top 10. That's my top 10. Some people are going to look at Giannis in your top 10. I think he surpassed already at this point in his career. I think he surpassed, not looking at rings, but I think he surpassed the likes of maybe Karl Malone, Charles Barkley, KG, even Dirk, even Kevin McHale. But he keeps going up there. I think the only thing that's probably gonna hold him back is that rings. That's where everybody tends to look at. But this man Giannis has already have 2 MVPs, a Defensive Player of the Year, multiple defensive teams, multiple All NBA teams, multiple All Stars now, an All Star MVP, Finals MVP, and counting. Hopefully, he's done so much that some of those players are, I don't know, are getting further down the list. The only thing those players that I name in that power forward position have over Giannis is, of course, longevity, point scorer. Because I think Dirk and Carmelo both scored over 30 points, over 30,000 points. Let's keep it going. The big three Celtics was the bargain bin 80s Pistons, and they couldn't beat them. Yep, he couldn't. Jordan never cared about scoring a lot to his early years. He cared about winning championships and MVPs. Yep, he was more motivated about winning. And everything, I think he even said that he cared about more winning. And everything else is going to follow. I think that's Kobe's mentality too. Even though people say, "Oh, Kobe, shut up." Kobe cared about winning. Didn't he retire on the 30K points in 98? I think he was over 30. Unless he scored 2,000 points in his years with the Wizards. I don't think he did. I had to look that one up. Doc Murray said he will have to go. He'll have to like to go for a 4-peat. Yeah, he probably would have, but I don't think they was gonna let him. Personally, I think Hakeem deserves a spot in the top 10. Nobody has ever led a 6 seed or lower team to the NBA Finals and won it. See, now you're gonna make me change it, because now I had to do the comparison with Shaq and Hakeem. I don't know how many times Shaq got swept. I think when it comes to, I seen more of Shaq than I saw more of Hakeem, because by the time I actually started really, really watching basketball, Hakeem was already on his way out. He was already old. Shaq, I saw lots of Shaq. I saw those 3-peat in the Lakers. I saw when he went to Miami. So I might, like I said, later time, rearrange it. If anyone wants to surpass Jordan, 7 rings, 7, all of some MVPs in there at least. That'll be Bill Russell. The only thing about Bill Russell, the reason why I don't have him in my top 10, defensively he was good, but offensively, nah. It's kind of hard to put him in there. Now, center, if he was top 10 center, yeah. Is LeBron your top 10? Sadly, he is, but that can always change. Like, I was teetering between Kevin Durant or him at that small forward position. But yeah, Russell era is too old. Yeah, it is too old, because you had to look at the Boston team. They had all the best players on their team. But individually, yeah, Bill Russell is high up there. He's not below 20, top 20. He's top 20, somewhere in there. At least. I know some people would like to pick Curry in that top 10. I just can't put Curry in the top 10. There's a couple of things that it's gonna hold certain players back that people don't realize. All this jumping to make super teams, I think it hurts some of these people, some of these current players' legacy. There's too much, and I said this before, there's too much jumping on all one team to go play for all each other like an AU team. It takes the competition. That's another thing Jordan did. Jordan made people care about basketball, made people watch about basketball. NBA had high ratings during the 90s. Now, not so much. You know, I didn't watch anything in the bubble, mainly because of all the political stuff that was going on that they was doing. And then LeBron James kept opening his mouth all the time. And then I actually just watched his I just watched when they won inside the bubble, when he's presenting the trophy, and this man really said, I want my respect. I demand my respect. But didn't give any, like, it was weird. He didn't give any shout outs to Kobe. Because we all know what happened months before that. It was all about him. He don't care about the Lakers. He's just using the Lakers as a vehicle to promote his name and glory. He don't give a damn about that franchise. That's why probably Kareem was looking like that. Kareem looking like this damn balding ass fool is go. He gonna get my record in a Lakers jersey? Oh hell no! And we don't know Kareem. Kareem would gladly would have been all right if Kobe would have had the chance to pass him because he was a true Laker, not some freaking guy jumping to his team to promote his name and image and get all the fame and glory he can get and constantly disrespect that team. You guys got a conversation going down here. Mine is MJ, Kareem, Russell, Magic, Bird, Shaq, Duncan, Hakeem, Wilt, and then LeBron. Yeah, I had to put LeBron in the top 10, but he ain't my top 5. He lost that. He's doing too much to get in there. Some people have him as top 5, but he's done too much. Dante, you're not the only one. I don't have him in the top 10 either. I think he's talking about Bill Russell. Shaq got swept in the finals 95, 96, 97, 98. I think in 07 with the Heat. Yeah, he's got swept too many times. That's why I had to probably remake my list again. I probably will put Hakeem in there. Shaq had way more help than Hakeem. Shaq played with Penny, LeBron, Kobe, KG, Ray Allen, Paul Pierce, Steve Nash, Amar Stoudemire, just to add it in there. Dwayne Wade. You forgot about Dwayne Wade, JJ. You can't forget about that one. Then it's Isaiah, then Kobe. I don't know why people don't want to put Kobe in their top 10. Some people say, hey, Kobe's not in top 20. I tell them, hold the brakes right quick with that. Kobe's not top 20? What you smoking on? I want to know 20 players that are better than Kobe. That's what I want to know. I don't want to disrespect Bill Russell there, but let's be blunt, honest. He had played a bunch of oversized white boys. Some of them white boys are actually good. But Wilt was only 6 foot. No, not Wilt. Bill Russell was only 6'9". It wasn't like he was like a hulking 7'1", like 7'2", like Wilt was. But all those players that they was play today, they didn't have a field day playing today. That they was playing their prime. It's too easy in the NBA these days. Bill Russell top 15. Kobe passed Kareem, bruh. Truth be told, Kobe didn't like LeBron all that much. You know what? I always wanted to make a video about this, but I'm gonna do it now. I might just cut this up right here. I think the time when Kobe and LeBron were in the league together, I think Kobe, he ain't here, he ain't around to even say this, and probably never say that he was alive. But I think in Kobe's mind, when it came to LeBron, I think he saw LeBron as somebody like the LeBron we're seeing now. Just want everybody to love him. I think in the beginning, I think he probably saw LeBron as cool, but once he started jumping in teams and started doing all this mixing the NBA up, I think he had some resentment towards LeBron. Now, I think on the opposite side, I think LeBron never really liked Kobe like that either. I think he envied Kobe. I think he was jealous of Kobe. I think it was a picture not too long ago. Well, not too long ago, but I think it was a picture from an All-Star game. I forgot who it was. They had it as a thumbnail, but it was a picture of LeBron and Kobe in the All-Star game. You had Kobe looking in the camera, smiling, and in the background, you just see LeBron looking pissed, looking at Kobe. I'm not saying that he liked LeBron like Kobe like that, but I think there was something there between those two. And I think it was more evident with LeBron going behind Kobe's back to go tell Coach K that that Kobe's freaking being a ball hog. That's some beta male tendencies right there for LeBron. I think that's all you had to say. Now, there's been some other rumors out there I would not discuss on this stream. So I think that's something to be discussed off broadcast. But I heard some people say around the corners that LeBron had something to do with something when it came to Kobe recently, very recently, as of 3 years ago. But I'm not going to go too much into it. That's just conspiracy talk. But anyways, I don't understand how LeBron can be top 10. He has the third highest finals losing record behind the logo and Elgin Baylor. Yeah, I think people will take out the rings and put his accomplishments. Kobe is my top 3. Yep, because of haters. Kobe is my top 10. It's MJ, Kobe, Kareem in that order. No problem with that. One has Michael and Kobe, but that's it. But I need Kareem in number 2. Problem with that. Bill Russell played against Nate Thurman and Wilt Chamberlain as well. Kobe is top 15. Curry wins another ring before LeBron outplays Curry in his 10th spot. I think Curry days of winning rings are over. They're too banged up. And there's something seriously wrong with that team. And I think that punch that Saul Wasino over the world has something to do with that. Jordan always loved Kobe as a brother. It was really heartwarming when he courted Vanessa to the stage for the Hall of Fame ceremony. Yep. I think Jordan saw Kobe as a little brother, but I also think Jordan saw Kobe as, let's say, a rightful heir or rightful to his throne. Let's say that. I think he saw himself inside Kobe. I think that's why he was like that with him. Let's see here. Got more comments. Yes, Josh. Yes, it was a gesture made purposely from a struggling, deeper meaning, but I can't speak on it here. Are you talking about it? Yeah, it could have been. Kobe was frustrated to jump teams too, and he did ask for a trade, but he didn't go. His 05-07 team was horrible, just like LeBron in early Cleveland. LeBron actually jumped teams over. You know what? Going back to that, during that time, and I know many other YouTubers have spoke about this, but if you look at LeBron's team probably from when he started going to the playoffs until this last year on Cleveland, his first stint, he probably had better teams than Kobe during that time. Probably up until Paul Gasol and Ron Artest got there. All of them got there. But for the most part, during that time, LeBron actually had a better team than Kobe. But yeah, Kobe was frustrated. But I think he only asked for a trade to get things moving. I don't think he wanted to leave LA, leave the Lakers. I think he did that to get his way, and he got it. And he never heard a peep out of him after that. They got the 2 rings, and that was it. I watched the 92 Eastern Conference against the Bulls. That was the fist fight series. Yeah, it was. Knicks were fearsome. Too bad. The funny scenario is that the King gets awarded MJ's MVP. Yeah, that ain't going to happen. He ain't getting no MVP this year. Weak era, dude. What era is weak, you say? He's saying the 90s eras is weak? I heard somebody the other time say the 2000s was a weak era. You know what? The 2000s was the last real era when he played defense. Scores were in the 60s sometimes, especially that 04 finals with the Detroit Pistons and Lakers. I think one of the final scores was like 70 to 60 something. They was playing defense. There was no shooting. Nobody whiffling going to the basket without being hit. The Lakers had their handful, and that's another underrated team. That 2004 Detroit Pistons team. Oh, I was about to say, franchise. Remember when Nick Wright said LeBron's better than Jordan because he went to the finals? Went to the most finals, but he doesn't mention that Magic went to 10 finals appearances as well. Because Nick Wright, as a LeBron James booty smeller. The kids these days keep saying the 90s era is weak. 90s era is not weak. 90s era is probably one of the toughest eras to play in. That in the 80s. Kids like Nick Wright and Shannon. Some people say that Isaiah Thomas is better than MJ because he beat him. Bird and Magic in the playoffs. I give him credit for that. You know what? Isaiah Thomas did beat them. That is true. That is true. But all those players from the 80s and 90s all have different feats. Well, maybe 80s. Like I said, only one that really has some type of feat during the 80s is during the 90s is Hakeem. Yeah. That was it. Hakeem. And if you want to say Tim Duncan and David Robinson towards the end, then I guess you can count them, but Jordan was already out. People don't realize 6 rings during the 90s. That means everybody else didn't win. There was only 1 or 2 other people that can win. Completely ridiculous. Did Jerry West go to the finals 10 times? He went a lot. I forgot the exact number. I think they did. Yeah, I think they did. I imagine the logo. I think even Kareem went to 10 finals appearances. I know Kareem went to 2 with Milwaukee. Yeah, they went to 2 with Milwaukee. 1 win. They beat the Bullets, and then they lost to the Celtics, and then all the times he went with the Lakers. Yeah, I think that equals to 10. Do you think the Lakers will make the playoffs, and do you think Westbrook is going to the Clippers? There's too much infighting with the Lakers right now. There's too much infighting. Anthony Davis could get injured possibly, and that can probably be it. I think there's way too much infighting. I don't think Anthony Davis really wants to be on there anymore. And the Clippers getting Westbrook, possibly. I saw today that John Wall wants to either go to Miami or to the Bucks. I don't know about that. 6 rings today or any era. I hate how LeBron fans say Jordan's era was weak. Nope, it's not weak at all. Not at all. You know what? Before I log off of here, I want to see something right quick. We got to look at this right quick. Just for old time's sake. I'm going to put this on real quick. Look at all these accomplishments by Jordan. 6-time NBA champion. 6-time NBA Finals MVP. Let me see it, make sure it's showing. Ooh, that looked blurry. Take that off right quick. Make sure it was showing. Let me take this off. Take the overlap off. Now you can see it. Let's get it closer. Me smaller. Zoom in even more. No. Show the whole thing. All right. 6-time NBA champion. 6-time NBA Finals MVP. 5-time most valuable player. 14-time All-Star. I mean, LeBron and the LeBron fans, but hey, LeBron got more All-Star picks. Well, yeah. Jordan also played 15 years. Sorry. 3 NBA All-Star MVPs. 10 All-NBA first team. An All-NBA second team, 85. Defensive Player of the Year in 88. 9-time All Defensive First Team. He has 9-time All Defensive First Teams. That's first team, not combination of second team. NBA Rookie of the Year, NBA All First Team Rookie of the Year, 10 times NBA scoring champion, steals leader 3 times, 2-time dunk contest champion when the dunk contest was fun to watch. Retired by the Bulls and the Heat. 3-time AP Athlete of the Year, Sports Illustrated Sports Person of the Year. I forgot what the IBM award was. 50th anniversary and 75th NCAA champion in 1982. National College Player of the Year, 2-time consistent first team All-American. We go into the college ACC Player of the Year. He's everything. We ain't gonna go that far. You don't need to go that far. We know who he is. Yeah, you was right, Dor. I think he did retire at 30K points. And I think he scored probably another 2,000 when he came back with the Wizards. 2-time Olympic gold champion as well. Basketball Hall of Fame and FIBA Hall of Fame. That's a lot of accomplishments in that time that he has gotten. You can't beat that. Jordan beat 60-win teams. How many 60-win teams did LeBron beat? Not many. 1, maybe? And that was the Golden State Warriors in the 2016. I don't think the Atlanta Hawks, when they was number 1 that season, I don't think they won 60 games. Maybe they did. Maybe 2 then. Finals record, Jordan 6-0, Duncan 5-1, Kobe 5-2, Kareem 6-4, Bird 3-2, LBJ 4-6, Magic 5-4, Wilt 2-4, Shaq 4-2. And that, I believe, is correct. And that is where I will stop at. I said I was going to go an hour, but I ended up going an hour and a half because y'all guys have been so great. Bronny better be winning. Bronny better be winning some shit since he's been helicoptered hard by his daddy. Yeah, that can be a blessing and a curse to his son. And he better hope it works out. But, yep, I'm out of here. Let me shout out everybody that was in the chat that participated right quick before I leave. Man, there's so many people in here. Josh Johnson, as usual. I don't want to hack up any names. Danik Jones, as always, in the last stream I had. Yusuke Knight, shout out to him. NCC UDog 98, shout out to him. Z-Man. I don't want to hack up your guys' names. Kiki Balon Lion, I don't know. I pronounced that even right. But shout out to him. Frank B. Jean Merciless. I don't know what happened to that ridiculous. Land of Heartless 216_. Shout out to him. CX5. There's the LeBron fan right there. Shout out to him though. Anyways. Easy Money Productions. JJ. Dork Tor. As always, he's always in here. I think I said shout out to JJ. If I didn't, shout out to JJ again. And trying to figure out who else is in here. Dante, shout out to him. He's also in here. Kyle Jr. Wally B. Sydney. Shout out to him as well. And I think that's everybody that was in here. I think that's everybody. Let me read these comments right quick before I shut off. Dante, Francis, do you ever plan on going more live streams in the future? Yes. I'm going to try to since you guys are very responsive. You guys crowded up in here tonight as well. But I think some of my next live streams, I may have sent the link out so I can have people join on as a panel. But if we're gonna do it as a panel, we gotta be not crazy. We can't be out here over talking and cursing all this other stuff that I see in other people's live streams. You know, be cordial. We're gonna do it if I'm gonna do it. But I'm gonna have a guest on here. It's also on the basketball YouTube. I'm gonna get him on here one of these days too. And it's the last comment of the night. Glad you're here to shed the truth. Nick and Shannon getting clutch checks and just doing some propaganda like Soviets. Yes, they are. But with all that being said, shout out to everybody that's been here. I'll probably be back with more videos tomorrow because I got to talk about this Jokic thing and his MVP. I think that's wrong. But I'm going to try to continue to keep making videos, continue to keep growing. Shout out to my other channels, Franchise History TV. They've been trying to take that down as much as possible because they don't like me getting on Disney and their goofballness. But Franchise History TV, that's my other channel. And Lone Wolf Adventure TV, that's my other channel. It's a traveling channel, which I don't use that much. Got to travel, but I got another video coming out that soon. But I'm out of here. Peace to you all. Thanks for being on the stream. I'm out. Peace again.